Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Haunted Hours. This is episode 36, or number 36, if I was going to say originally. Um, Tonight we've got a very interesting discussion, haven't we, Shay? Who is joining me, of course.
Indeedy we do.
So tonight we're going to be talking about why do people want to believe in this phenomenon known as ghosts. So, do we want to believe in ghosts because that it'll give us some kind of closure to the afterlife, or and there's something really out there, or or do I just want to, or is it just a missing puzzle that we've been longing to have connected for us? It's kind of an intriguing question, isn't it, Shay?
Yeah, it's a weird one because it's like there's people who don't believe in it, and then there's people who do believe in it, and then there's people who are in the middle.
Hmm. And that's what we're trying to aim for. So if you're on the fence, we won't make you believe. We don't want you to make you a believer or a skeptic. We just want to show you and talk to you. If you're a skeptic and you want to become a believer, fair enough, and we hope that we can achieve that. And if you're a believer and you turn into a skeptic for this, then that's fine with us as well. As long as you just give us reasonable answers, then we'll give you validation.
If not, you're gonna get sent to the gulag.
If you don't
And
know
no,
that
not the
reference,
one
then I
from Call
apologize.
of Duty.
Exactly. So we're gonna talk about first of all like the hidden depths of the brain and the belief system here. Um to talk about it. So if before we go into all that, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss anything this year. Because this year we're going to be doing some paranormal investigating and finding out for ourselves if there is life after death, ain't we, Shay?
Yup.
So this might just be the answers that we're thinking on a intellectual level, but on a spiritual level, we'll be finding out that later this year. So keep tuned, and like I said, subscribe. Shay's links are in the description, so go and give him a sub on both of his channels. You don't want to miss anything that he brings out either.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you more about his stuff at the end of the show. But first thing first, like I said, we're gonna be talking about hidden depths of the brain and why ghosts are in that foremost. But like you can go back to like cavemen times really, and that we've always been a race that have been not afraid to go out of our comfort zone, have we? We've always been like when there was something out there, we've always been wanting to conquer it or think of it as a challenge, ain't we?
Well, I'm not sure about specific people, but I know for a fact us British definitely have. It's definitely not
Yeah.
taking a dig at a specific nation that decided to revolute in the 1800s. Definitely not.
Yeah, but I mean, like a general in sort of apart from nations, yeah, but in a general idealization, the human race have always been brave of people that we've always wanted to go and conquer or say. I'll say like there's an animal over there, and and people are like, oh, you can't kill that animal. If that one animal, that animal will eat you alive. We'll still find a way to do it, ain't we?
Mm.
We've ways to do it, and I think that's what our survival instincts for so long. Like that when them kind of things were saying like we can't, there's nothing there, that you can't say that, you can't do this, you can't, there's nothing there. I think our brain has been wired to think, oh, so you're telling me that there was a shadow just there, but then our brains have been like, but what if it's not a shadow? What if it's something more in depth? So our brain like wants us to seek patterns in certain things. So is it really a shadow? Was it really an orb we just saw? Was it really? What do you think, Shay?
I'm not too sure because obviously the brain's designed to function in a certain way. Like, it can block stuff out, but at the same time, it can choose not to block stuff out. For instance, when you look left to right, fun fact actually, you
Mm,
technically go blind for a split second, but your brain blanks it so you don't notice it.
mm,
Same with your nose. If you think your nose is directly like your nose is in line sight, unless you look to the left or right, you can't actually see it.
mm,
So obviously, it could just be something the brain's trying to figure out so we perceive it as a shadow. We
mm.
never know.
Exactly. It's like um basically also hello everyone who's just tuning in. Um basically like that's a good answer there, Shay, actually. But then there's also like there's stuff where the questions are going on, like where we've been like when we've been listening to these ghost stories down the generations and that. It is something that we want to like just scare ourselves with and go like is it like they like ghosts prey on like fears obviously like they or on certain things like they like danger if it's like a poltergeist obviously they build it up don't they and they like release it like we do with certain things but is it like a thing that we've gone like putting ourselves at we need to be having this kind of danger to have a good life like because also like I said if you look at the cavemen they had new animals and that they were just discovering that we know about now obviously years later but back then it was new to them so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Hmm. What are you thinking along them lines?
Um. Well, it's strange to be fair, because like you just mentioned, they were always finding these new animals that we obviously know now today. Like you could think back then they'd probably call a moose like a horned deer or something like that.
Hmm.
But now obviously we know it's a moose. And it's like there are things out there that are going to be new to us, but then there's probably people that are like, oh yeah, we've known about that for these many years. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And that's a thing like it's like so, and then there's also like thing that when we go through certain phases like we've all, I presume we've all gone through grief at one stage or another. If you haven't, then you're kind of the lucky few, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. But if you've been through grief, then you know the trauma that it leads to, or the trauma that it leaves behind, and the people that go through grief often say, "Oh, such and such, I'm going to just use a random name here. So this is your name. I do apologize, but Benjamin has decided to pay me a visit today, and a lot of people are like, "How do you know it was Benjamin? It could just be your brain playing tricks on you." And they want to like, is it really just like our brain going like is it like a guilt trip from our brain going, you're missing him, and we're gonna hotwire you to think that he's really still around, but is he really?
Yeah,
Because like 910, you're probably just there like, oh, I'm really missing like missing my nan or missing my dad or you know what I mean, and then you're like, and then you just think of something like, oh, my dad used to love fishing, and then you just think of a memory with fishing, and then you instantly think, and then you instantly have that feeling of a fish smell or something, and then you're thinking it wasn't there last minute ago. So is it your brain just perceiving things like, oh, our past is like that? We're missing of our memories, and you know what I mean?
yeah. Then again, if you're smelling fish, don't light anything.
Yeah, exactly. Don't light anything in the house, but because otherwise you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Health and safety warning 101 advice by Ray and Shay tonight.
Just, if you smell fish, and you're not near a sea,
Get
looks
out.
like you're eating cold tin food tonight.
Hmm. But yeah.
Unless you usually do that. I ain't one to judge. I do it sometimes. Quite nice,
Mm,
actually. Unless
mm.
it's beans. Just don't eat beans cold. Just, no.
I knew someone who used to eat kidney beans, but raw, but and cold. But we were going off topic there. Um, but yeah. But then on the flip side, if you think about it, with ghosts, if you're doing not and you're not thinking of it like, and the brain ain't triggering it as like a flight or fight like reflex kind of emotion. Ghosts can also heal people, can't they? Because if you're believing that they're there really, and we are I'm 100% a believer. I don't know about Shay, but
I'm on the
uh,
fence, to be fair. I mean,
well,
I've had some occurrences, but there's usually been somewhat of a logical explanation to it.
mm, so that's my job this year to turn you into a believer. But going
My job this year is to do a backflip. That's a lie. That is 100% a lie.
but honestly though, like I'm saying, like if you're not thinking of it and then the brain not wiring it you to say, oh yeah, this is that, and it is really a spirit and that, um, it might heal you because then you might think to yourself, oh, so there is life after death. So they have found a way to come. Like there's been stories out there of people saying that, like if especially with a lost parent, like with a parent that was on the verge of passing over or something, and they go, if you can get back to me, this is our word. And then in an investigation or they go they do an investigation at home with themselves if they feel them at home. They often say the word, and then they're like, they found a way to come back to me. That is definitely our word. So you know what I mean? And I might give them the healing factor, like, oh, they're at peace. I'm happy now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, um, so what do you think on them lines, Shay? Do you think like they can heal a broken heart, like or mind, like if they get that recognition, not that recognition, but that kind of acknowledgement.
Uh, okay. Yeah, I mean, there have been some instances where something like that's happened. Like, say, for instance, someone passes and someone's saying, like, oh, like during the time of grief, and they were like, oh, I saw them. Like, say, for instance, there's a chair they always sat in or
Hmm.
a mug they always drunk from, for instance, they'd probably be like, oh, yeah, I saw him sitting in his or her chair. I'm just
Hmm.
using him as a example. As you know, there's a stereotype Um, they're like, oh, I saw him in the chair drinking from his favorite mug. Yes, people could call you crazy, but like, fuck off, innit? Like, alright, I'm gonna quickly finish this and then I'm gonna mention about what I was just gonna say. It's like, you could say, oh, yeah, I saw him in his chair drinking from his favorite mug, and it made me feel better to know he was still there, or something like that. But then, like, for the people who call others crazy for stuff like that, it's like, where are you to say that? Do you know what I mean? Like, where's
Yeah.
your qualification to say that? Like, are you a trained psychologist, perchance?
Hmm. Because it's like I'm not gonna go here with anyone who's skeptic. By all means, be a skeptic, and I'm not saying that you're in the wrong because I value everyone here the same. But skeptics are one of them that I like that because say that you had an experience like a shadow figure going past your door and everyone's seen it. A skeptic would be like, "I'm sure you're just in a figment of your imagination." and they'll do everything to disprove what you just saw in a way that will make you like think that you're not losing your mind, but you're. I- So, am I really? Did I really think that? Did I really see that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one of the biggest skeptics out there, who most of you will know if you've watched the most haunted TV series down the years, especially when there was a certain Derek Acora on the show. Dr. Kieran O'Keefe. He used to blooming find fault with everything, didn't he? He used to say, "Oh, there could be a logical explanation for like a chair getting touched, or oh, oh, we didn't see the camera on it, or and it could be one of the cast." Yeah, 910 back then, most when he was known for falsifying evidence, but at the same time, it's like, but then if there's people in there who are believers and they were actually nowhere near there, who are you to question, what's gone on just there? You know, I know you're trying to disprove it, but when the evidence shows obviously in front of you, like what the hell happened, surely you're going to be slowly getting convinced. But the more that show went on, I don't think he got convinced, did he? Obviously, because of the
Mm.
falsifying evidence, but you know what I mean? It's like he never got like you never once heard him go, "Oh, I'm questioning my skepticism now." Yeah, that was actually a good piece of evidence that you just brought me. I was like,
Yeah.
and that's why I think skeptics kind of get a bad rep because a lot of people want to say skeptics, oh, I'm going to make them change their mind and that, because they don't get that recognition from said skeptic. They're like, am I really wasting my time here with them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like going to a shop, expecting to be hoping to get the latest magazine on I don't know Marvel, and finding out the story that you always love about Spider-Man is in there. But then when you go and pick up the thing and you tell the person behind the shop, "Oh, I've been waiting all year for this. This is the biggest story of his thing." The person going there like not really giving a two hoots about it. And yet he was saying to you all week. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for this Spider-Man comic."
Yeah.
If that analogy doesn't make sense to you guys, then think of one that would make sense to you and apply it to the situation. So,
Go into a Home Bargains to find the most recent magazine on Come Dine with Me.
don't diss that show, everyone. Come down with me, the legendary.
It's
Especially
mid.
when, well, it's legendary in certain aspects, but there was one, I think, if I remember correctly, that everyone does quote a lot. I think it was that Jane episode when that bloke, when he goes, rips into Jane. You're a
Oh, that
sad, pathetic
one.
woman, yeah. You've got a sad, pathetic. You got all over the dump truck or something, innit? God, that must have been one of the most viral moments from that show. Um, but yeah. So just think of an analogy, apply it to that, and that's what you'll get with that. Like, it's like trying to turn a skeptic into a believer. It's like we there's a skeptic that we all know, from me, Shay, and a few others, and no matter how hard we try, and that they're still on the skeptic side, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're trying our best to go, look, the evidence is there, and they're like, oh, that could be anything, man. And then you say, then in the next sentence, you go, you hear the person go, oh, that was interesting. Did you just see that? And hello, everyone who's just tuning in. I am Ray, and this is Shay. Um, but yeah, that's what kind of makes me want to like show people that if they're skeptics that I want to make them believers because of things like that. Because there is a moment there when you think to yourself, he's starting to this said person starting to believe, and then no, it falls flat like a rubber duck in a fucking bath.
Yeah.
So, but obviously with ghosts also coping mechanisms, obviously, like I was saying. Um, but then if you look on the other side, there's a fear side. Like we choose to feel fear. Obviously, down the years we've done it with your bungee jumping. That's a thrill-seeking fear. Um, parachuting. Um, high-speed car racing. Like roller coasters. We get we're a race that wants to be thrilled and fear and have fear as well because it makes us feel alive with adrenaline, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So there's for paranormal investigators and that we'll get the when I do it I'll probably get the thrill of that, but they say that their thrill is the thrill getting evidence, the thrill of a ghost making themselves known, like it's reassuring to them because it's making them feel like there is more to this world than what meets the eye. There is a life after when we move on. There is so many questions that and there's a and it kind of makes us reassured that when it is our time to move on, we won't be said and done. We can come back and give evidence, like give evidence to fellow people, or we can tell our story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why do you think we've got that kind of thrill in us, like of why we want that fear, like that we want, like say we got a fear of obviously being in a paranormal um like house. Say we're going to paranormal house tonight, me, you, John, um, and all that, and then whoever else, right? Say we were in
Mm.
a room and we get this marvelous piece of evidence, like a door slammed shut right in front of us, and then we know no one was near it, and then we hear hear something on the spirit box going like close the door or something, like that. Why do you
Yeah.
think we'll get a feel from that acknowledgement?
'Cause it'd be the adrenaline.
Hmm. And not the adrenaline that Cody Rhodes feels every time we hear his song, by the way. um, but yeah, it's like the adrenaline is there. You're like we need to have that feel, don't we? The race. That's what I'm trying to say, everyone. Like we don't have that thrill. And hello, everyone who's just tuning in as well. Again, the thrill is there. We need that thrill more than anything. Like we got a feel as a race that, like I said, we need it to be there. We want it to be there. We will. It's like it's like alcohol. Once you have a drop, you don't want to stop. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thrill in the paranormal world. Once you get a taste of it, you don't want to stop. So
Mm.
and we're addicted to that. Like so, it kind of makes sense that the more we go around paranormal hotspots, that the more evidence we gather, and the more we go, oh, it kind of makes sense that and then we start picking the places apart and go, what does this place have in connection with that place, and then we'll start wiring our brains to go and pick up on the signals, and there'll be one big puzzle which is going to get to come into place, if you know what I mean, like a giant ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So obviously, like I said to everyone, let us know what your thoughts are. But like how many for years there's been stories of paranormal down generations. Like I think the earliest reported ghost was um in the 1600s, I believe. But I could be wrong. No, in my luck, it's probably way earlier. But no, 8,000 to 2,000 BCE. There you go. That was the earliest reported sign of a ghost. Back then. So you can't tell me that there's nothing to just that's the earliest reported sign. So that's crazy, isn't it, Jay? 8,000 to 2,000 BCE.
Yeah, that was fucking ages ago.
That is. Trying to think of how long ago that was. It's like um hang on. I know 10,000 years ago.
Fucking hell.
10,000 years ago that event that happened. That was the first reported ghost sighting, everyone. And to this day we still get reports to this day of ghosts. So you can't tell me obviously back in the olden days when it was Victorian England and Tudor England and bloody wolf, you did get the odd one that got where back then it was harder for people to come out and say, "Oh, I've seen a ghost," because 9 times out of 10 you'd probably go out, probably say, "Oh, I've seen a ghost," and then the next thing you know, you'll be like, "Open up, you're going down to the mental institution," because they wouldn't believe you, would they? They'd think that there's something wrong with you. So that is also why I think people are skeptics nowadays because they don't want to be perceived as not saying in a bad way, but how would you word it, Shay? They don't want to. They how would you call it, Shay?
What's that?
Um, I said that back then, like in the Tudors and the Win and the Elizabethan and Victorian England and all that, especially. If anyone saw a ghost back then, they often got a slam on the door and or kicked on the door down, and then they'd be told you're going to the local mental institution because your brain is like not functioning right. You're seeing something that ain't there, and so that's what I'm saying. I think nowadays that's why I think people especially skeptics are not saying in a bad way, but and they're not saying that they're all fucking do. They're not saying that they're doolally everyone. I'm just saying. I think that's why people are more on the fence now. If you know what I mean, because they don't want to get told by someone, "Oh, you're mad, bro," or "You're mad, you're mad, mate." Look, they're knowing their look.
Hmm.
They don't want to have that fear that they're gonna get laughed at, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? What do you think?
I mean, that's a good point. Like back then, if you said you saw something like that, you'd either get burned at the stake. No, not a steakhouse, sadly. They didn't
I know.
exist back then. That's just called a brothel. Don't Google that. Um, but yeah, or you'd get sent to like some mental institution, which is where I should go, to be fair. You didn't hear that, everyone. But yeah, it's like nowadays, if you say something like that, you just get called a weirdo.
Yeah, and I
Which,
don't
to
think.
be fair, is probably a lot worse. I'd rather get
Yeah,
burned at the stake, if I'm honest.
honestly though, you wouldn't. Honestly though, people want to believe in them. I think they want to believe. PG rated, remember Eagle. John said. um.
Funny thing is, John, after the 10-second mark, you can say whatever the bloody hell you want.
mhm.
Yeah, I
Um.
found that out in a video I was watching earlier.
I know that, like I always say, this is not this. I'm saying no because I'm gonna put saying 1 minute actually. John said.
Actually, no, it is the 10-second mark. I fact checked it.
Um. Right. So back on topic now. Hello, Brian. um. Um. But yeah, I was gonna say But so nowadays you'd want to like say you're going on a like I don't know, name me a place like a castle, and you knew for all the history and that, and you knew what had happened there. If you went with someone who was like like on the skeptic side and that, and they're like, and they didn't want to, no matter what evidence you threw on them, oh, we saw a shadow, we saw an apparition, we saw all this, you know. That's fine, John. Yeah, so no matter what you do, you would they would be there like I just figuring on your imagination, innit, lad? You know what I mean? And then they would throw out like, oh, that apparition you saw, it was probably done like dust or something. No, we saw an apparition. Oh, you saw a shadow figure. It's probably just one of your shadows going by the door. They do everything to discredit him, you know. And it's like, no, I'm not saying for this full skeptic, by the way. I'm not saying for the majority of skeptics. There is some skeptics out there that go, oh, I can't disprove that because you make a good point. You know what I mean? And the ones that do want to be there and listen and actually think outside the box logically, them ones you can have a laugh with and have a thing like, and then you can actually explain the evidence that you're getting to them. You know what I mean? So, and as Shay's gone quiet, I'm guessing a spirit has just made his presence known in his room. That's fine, lad. See you in a bit, John. Um, if you didn't hear that from me about the spirit in his area, but again, I think we did show off the evidence that he captured in his area on one of the previous episodes. So um yeah, that was crazy. But while I'm waiting for Shay to get back, I'll move on to the next point I want to make, and that is ghosts. Like, why do people really want to believe in ghosts? Like the name of the stream says, I think people want to believe in ghosts because it will make them feel seen and heard, especially after they've moved on. Like when you're like when you're down, hmm when you're down, and I'm not going to try and be sound as respectful as possible, but when you're underground or when you're um scattered across an ocean somewhere, or you know what I mean, there's you think to yourself, oh, that's it, the life. life is done. That's it. Close the chapter on this book. Life's done. We don't need to worry about it now. We'll be revitalized in a new life, or we like, you know what I mean. But with that, with the ghosts and that, we would go with us talking the ghosts and that. It'll make us feel seen and heard. Like like we know for a fact now with us doing like with people doing investigations that they can go up and go, oh, here you go, here's an EVP recorder. Our voices can be seen, can be heard once more. An ultraviolet camera. Our shadow can be caught once more. You know what I mean? So, and we need that connection, like to like, how can I put it? It basically makes us feel complete to a way that we could go, ah, like I thought we were talking about granddad or nan or dad or something earlier. Like you could go, oh, like you could go, I'm I'm missing my nan or so, but then you know that she's around in your there's a spirit in her house or your house or whatever. You can easily just bring a piece of equipment out or whatever and go, show us a sign, will you, nan, that you're still here or dad or whatever, right? And that is what is like fascinating about it, you know, that you can easily just get a piece of equipment and just get that acknowledgement straight away, you know, and that it gives us connected to those who we have lost as well. So and ghosts also provide logic to where um logic and logical answers to where like logic sometimes fails along the way. So say like we've seen like an apparition of a spirit in a castle from long ago, right? And then we see the portrait of the person in like the I don't know, the library, for example. Um, that will be like our brain going, how is that possible that we've just seen that person out there, but we know that this person was around in the 1600s, 1700s. You know what I mean, everyone? So our brain will be like thinking of it logically, like in an intellectual way, like, oh, so we already just saw them out there, but this is why we saw them because they obviously their spirited haunts here. There was a nice chance that they'll be hanging around this area. You know what I mean? So I'll ask Shay's opinion in a minute when he gets back. Um, but obviously, like I said, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, all that good stuff. On the road to 3K, and I'll give you a little thing that after I hit 3K, everyone, I'll be doing another gaming. I'll be doing my first gaming stream in forever on here, like since December, and I'll probably be playing either. I'll put a little vote on it, but I'll probably be playing either Order 13 or I will be playing the casting of Frank Stone. So let's leave it. Let you know, I'll leave it to a vote or do it in a call that or I'll leave it to you. I'll see what I think after like this. I know I'm going to do it, but yeah, Like I say, obviously we're waiting on Shay, so I can't ask him what I want to ask him yet. But yeah, go on, go make sure you. He's Eagle Vision Gaming link is in the description, and his Metal Panzer X channel is in the description as well. So go over, hit the sub button, and and get ready for his gaming streams on both on his Eagle Vision channel, especially because um he's going to be gaming on everything over there. So make sure you go and do that for me. He'll tell you more at the end of the stream, but that's brief summary of what he's going to be doing.
I'm back. I now have jam sandwich.
And you have a jammy sandwich, do you?
Yes.
Did you hear what I was saying, or did you miss it?
Um, depends.
'Cause I was talking about why do people like I was talking about why do we want to believe in ghosts, like the name of the stream. Like I was like saying, like um like ghosts give us a way to communicate and kind of making us like when the final curtain drops for all of us, we always think that's it, book's done, no more till the next life. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But ghosts gives us that recollection of like a past life, like all the life that we had. Like we could say I'm going to just throw in a random relative out there again. Oh, Shay knows what I'm on about. I'll say I don't know aunt. Say they were out there, and then you know that you had gone to their house, or and then or you spent a lot of time there, but or she or she was close to one of your parents because it was their sister. You would instantly go, oh, I can feel her presence a lot. So you would instantly go and get out a piece of equipment and you'd be like, oh, give us a sign that you're here, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And if she gave it to you, then you'd be like, instantly, your brain would be like telling you logically and that, like, they'll give it in a good way. There is life after death. Your aunt's there. She's giving you comfort because you just heard her or whatever. But then it gives us a thing that also that where our voices are never truly lost. You know what I mean? So no matter what you do, you'd still get there. So say, and like I was using an example, like in a castle, you'd see like say you saw the lady of the house, like the grey lady as they call them, or what the grey lady, don't they? They often say that. And then you go into the foyer or the library and you see the portrait of them and that, and then you go, and then your brain makes it like to say why did we see this person in that area, and then your brain goes, well, we got told on the tour that's where or whatever, that's where she frequently is, and then your like brain is saying, why did I see her? And then you're thinking all these answers like why did she show herself to me? You know what I mean? And all that. It gives you like the answers that some questions don't like they some are questions that gives you answers to questions. I'm sorry everyone that you're asking, but you can't get out, if you know what I mean, and ask like a random person on the street.
Yeah, it's answers for questions. You don't know what the questions are.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I was saying, you want that you know for 100% sure that said person is there, and you know for sure, but you want to get the evidence to prove that you're not doolally, basically. That makes sense, everyone. Because if you come back, say you come back on a like, amazing goal stunt, and then you go, oh shit, what do I do? What do I do? What's good? And while you're waiting for the evidence, and you're going through evidence, and you're going, oh, we got something good, and then you're going through the evidence at your computer or whatever, and you're going, right, let's edit that. Oh, and then you see something that you didn't see the first time round, or then your brain will be instantly like, so then your brain will do to go like, that wasn't there before, or that wasn't there when I saw it in real time. So then why have we picked up on that? You know what I mean? It's like one big brain bubble,
Yeah.
brainstorm. That makes sense, everyone. In the middle, it's like, why do we believe in the paranormal? And then we'd have the points coming off left, right, centre, like everything. That makes sense. What do you think, Shay? Like, with all that said.
I mean, yeah, it's like, uh, one sec, I'm trying to think.
It's alright.
It's like, why is it showing it to me? Like, why didn't I see this then? And like, why am I only seeing it now?
Hmm.
Tis very peculiar.
It is. It is, but then that's the thing with thing.
Shit.
Hmm. But then also when we do believe in, like, say, the paranormal, we basically become part of a larger hive mind of, like, where we, like, people have had paranormal experiences, and then we could connect ourselves to that, and then we're part of of believers that have had experiences, and then we're plugged into that consciousness then, and then we're like always looking for the paranormal thing of everything. Like me, ever since I saw my nan all those years ago, my brain has always been thinking like, oh, that must be paranormal. That, yeah, I know, or in a haunted place, obviously, but then in a normal place, like say the door closed, but it's a windy day and the windows are open. I do say, right, I'll open the door again and then make sure it's not the wind before I go through. Yeah, it might be crazy to people, like, oh, you're a believer, but why do you want to think? Proving that everything ain't just paranormal. Because there's things out there that people would to do anything for to prove that it's, or go, oh, that's paranormal, and they wouldn't check anything. There's certain individuals that I won't go into detail with, because I'll leave it for another episode. But there are certain individuals in America that made up money by adding paranormal activity into one of the most haunted buildings, well, haunted houses in America. When there's no reason to do it, but they were just doing it because they wanted to make a quick buck. So sad, but that's the world we live in. That's why I've always when I'm going on my investigation day with everyone in the year or in that, we're going to be one of these groups that I'll be like, oh, a door just closed, but then we'll go and try and debunk it. Does that make sense, everyone? So we're not going to just go, oh, that door just closed. Fucking hell, that's paranormal. No, we'll go into the door just closed, and then we'll get like Shay and or John or whatever, everyone, or me or whoever else is joining us, and be like, that door just closed. So what do I do? Well, that's hang on. Let's open it and to see that it weren't wind or contamination with one of us treading it carefully near the door, and it caused a vibration that caused the door to move. You know what I mean, Jay? Jay? And Jay's gone, everyone. I do apologise for that. See now, I was trying to get through and talk, and yeah, no, it was like no, 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 no. And he's back. So
Yeah, I decided to bug.
I'm guessing you never heard any of it, but what I just said.
No, I could hear you, but whenever I
Oh,
went to speak, it wouldn't let me speak.
oh. I'll let you go your word now. Now I will let you speak.
Yeah, I kind of forgot what I
No,
was gonna say.
about debunking evidence and all that. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I kind of forgot what I was gonna say. To be fair.
Yeah, well, I'll just say again in case. But yeah, if like say we're doing an investigation and then one of us witnesses the door closed, we'll go and debunk it straight away. We won't go, oh, was that paranormal? Before we question it if it's paranormal, we go and debunk it first because it could easily be wind contamination. It could be vibration from our feet in a certain bit of the floor that moves the door. You know what I mean? You don't want to instantly go, oh my god, that's paranormal, and then forget about it because, like I said, because there's two people in America that got famous for the wrong reason because they always they worked at this one of the most haunted houses in America, but then they were doing things with their feet to prove to if you don't know who they are, look them up. I'll talk about them in a later episode. But Shay knows who I'm on about.
Yes.
Um, and considering that dad, one of the I'll say her dad because one of them was a woman. Her dad was a paranormal investigator as well. It makes it all the more damning. But
Hmm.
but yeah, we
So,
don't want to do that. We don't want to come on that scenario where we like go, oh, that's paranormal, and then just forget about it. We want them that gets things like, oh yeah, if there was vibration and it caused the door to close, then we can go right debunk that was that. We don't want to be going all the way in like a poker player going all in and saying yeah that's paranormal, and there's no evidence of paranormal anywhere near the thing.
yeah. So, if I'm in a building and a door closes, first thing I'm gonna do, throw a flashbang. If it can't see, it can't hurt ya.
The only flashbang we have is a flaming torch, mate. And I don't think you're going to torch it.
You'd be surprised.
Or you're going to just keep on clicking it on and on and go, girls, you're blind now.
No, so as you probably saw when I was showing you thingy earlier, Torch can do some pretty good damage, and also make you see things for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, but yeah, everyone hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm nearly at 3K. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a live, a gaming live as soon as I hit 3K. So that could be this weekend. Funny enough, everyone. So you might get a treat. But yeah, I'm going to slowly start to sign off on this episode now because I think we've said all that we want to say, don't we, Shay? Unless you want to add anything before about the full route.
The M1A1 Abrams is shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just speaking facts. Speaking facts. I speak English now.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're talking about Onward. They might be featuring on his channel at one point.
No, I mean the American-made battle tank, the M1 Abrams, is
Oh,
shit.
tank.
Put it against the Challenger 2 any day, mate. Challenger wins.
You do realize you're on
How?
Eagle Vision and not Metal Panzer.
Then again, Onward.
Hmm. Onward will technically be classed as a Metal Panzer game, wouldn't it, on your account?
Who gives a fuck? It's my channel. I'll do what I want. I can't say that on YouTube at all. That would get you demonetized. I'll put it in the priv chat.
But yeah, but have you got anything to add to what we've talked about other than tank fighting?
No, not really, to be fair.
Alright. Don't worry. So, so go and give out your shout outs to your own stuff. Go on, lad. Yeah.
Go subscribe to the Get It Fam. If you didn't, that wouldn't be very cool, you know. Go subscribe to the Mandums. Still. Don't know what I was doing there. I'm tired.
He's trying to Ali G it.
I don't think Ali G
Yeah.
speaks like this, you know. I don't think he sounds like he's got like 2 chromosomes. I have 3 collective chromosomes before anyone asks. John can fact check that, he's seen them. We got Jimmy, Billy, and Timmy. They all have like half a chromosome each. That makes up 1.5 chromosome. Oh well. But yeah, we got this wonderful channel I'm on now. Don't expect anything anytime soon. Because motivation goes skirt. Same with the other channel. The last game I played was enlisted, and that was like what, a month ago. We might do a random thing of me just like fucking around in War Thunder. I ain't good at War Thunder at all. Might try to figure out how to stream stuff, make videos on the VR, you know.
No, the thing like this way though, you might. It's all about taking part. If you're good at a game, then it just shows that you're doing a sweat.
I mean, not really. Like, I'm pretty at onwards, but I've only had it like what, about 4 days, 5, 6 days.
It's alright.
When?
It's alright. It's alright. I'll bring the ice cream truck out next week.
No, fuck off.
Anyone
Yeah, turns out that is
joke.
actually turns out that is supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's an inside joke though. If anyone doesn't know.
Yeah, or you play Onward. If you play Onward, then you know exactly what I mean, mate. Solo shooting range is not. I was not expecting to hear in the middle of fucking Afghanistan. Was not expecting that. I was very scared. I may or may not have thrown like 26 pounds of C4, but let's chat for the next stream I do on a channel. Don't know what one. It'll be on one of these many channels. And by many, I mean 2. Because I'm not rich, nor can I be asked. I don't even put more than like 3 videos on one channel, so, you know. It is what it is.
Don't worry. You'll know exactly what he means when he gets around to it. Especially if he's playing it and then it comes out, but it comes out to play and that.
If it does, I'm gonna do what you watch me do every time I reset my loadout or changed it. I can't say I can't say it on YouTube because they will like choke me to oof. Well, they'll choke me to death. But Russian roulette with the Glock 17 and a full mag. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I wasn't even using a Glock 17. I was using an M9 with a silencer.
Well, it's alright.
If it shoots, it shoots.
Well, that's why they say during these cold-blooded wars. But that's a topic for another night and another stream on another channel.
Yes.
But yeah, like if you can't remember what his channels are, there's a link in the description. Everyone, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. hit that notification bell because you're not going to want to miss anything this year. And I mean this year, because this year's going to be a banger after banger after banger.
And if you don't, I'm going to be knocking on your door with an egg, and I'm going to throw it at you. And I'm going to run away, and you'll never catch me, because I'm like Sonic. I'll probably end up falling over, but you know. It is what it is.
But yeah, if you've watched all this stream all the way through, then wait for the word, please, Shay.
I got a banging word. Banana.
Banana.
Yeah, if you don't put banana in the comment section, mate, I can't really do much, but like,
yeah.
If you
He'll
don't,
be disappointed.
I hope you trip and fall on a banana like they do in Mario Kart 74,973.
Yeah.
Because there's too many of them now.
There is too many bananas. But yeah, so banana's a word. You've seen it this stream all the way through. Comment that, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Big love and bye to you all.
Adios.